guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you have landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to go hunting for secondhand finds. I love thrifting and I love to look for items that I can make over, give new life to, and then share the process with what I do to these items here on the channel. So in today's video, it is still the Christmas season. I am still I have so many ideas in my mind. My stash pile is huge and I don't even think I'm going to get to all of it this season. But in today's video, I am sharing 5 items that you don't necessarily think of Christmas decor. You don't look at them. Some of them you may, but most of these items you don't look at thinking, oh, I'm going to make these into Christmas decor. So I hope I have spiked your interest. Now, is this not just a beautiful box? I'm not even sure if it's a cigar box or what was held in it, but this box definitely caught my eye. There's just that hint of red on there that I thought, oh, how beautiful would this be to make it into a display. So first I need to figure out how to keep the lid open. I want the lid to stay open. I don't want it to flop. So I think that if I just run some hot glue, not just in the corner, I'm probably going to have to run it all the way across. I'm going to have to let that set up, cool, add another bead until it beads up enough that there's a barrier for it to not be able to fall forward anymore. I went ahead and did the same thing on the back so that there's a bead across the back of it also, so that I think it is good and secure now. See, it stays up. So now I want to add a little bit of Christmas decor, and I have this that I picked up at an auction, and it's just Antique Santa's postcards, exactly what it says. So I'm trying to find something that spikes my interest that I think matches this beautiful box. So I picked out 2, but I don't think the lighter I don't think it pops enough. I don't think it blends, but I do like this Santa with that red cap. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off the frame because it's a postcard, so it's a certain size, but it always has that outer frame of the whitish cream color, so I don't want you to see that in my little vignette here, so we're going to cut that right off. And would you just look at this tree? I don't know the age of this tree. I got it at an auction. I just love it. I only have one of it, so it's perfect to use. I think it's actually a black tree that's sugared and has all those colorful bulbs, but this is going to be my tallest item in this little vignette. I love that little red ball on the top and the shininess. Oh, I can't wait to pack this full. That I have my tree in, I'm going to go ahead and add my postcard, hot glue that also. And I have, oh my gosh, y'all, I have the same haul that I got the bottle brush tree from. I got a whole box of their greenery. A whole box, y'all. So the nice thing about that is it was a bonus. I really wanted the bottle brush trees that were in that box, but it's nice to be able to use bits and parts of the greenery also. Because I really think this holly leaves will look nice behind the Santa postcard. The Santa postcard kind of has holly leaves on it, and I just think that would be a nice background before I get that postcard glued on there. So now my next biggest object is going to be my Santa, and I'm a gatherer. Are you all a gatherer? You know, I think as pickers or gatherers, we're always just looking for pieces and parts that eventually we can put together into something. So Santa, I don't even remember where I picked him up, but he is so super cute. I told y'all I got a huge lot of greenery that came with like 4 bottle brush trees that I wanted, but I remembered some of this greenery had little packages on them. So I'm like, oh, I need little presents to put around that tree. So I'm going to go ahead and dig in this box. And yeah, there's some shoes in there, and there's some pumpkins, and hey, beggars can't be choosy, right? I'll just take whatever I can find in there, because I just want these little packages. They're already wrapped. They're a nice size. They will really fill up this box. I was happy. And then I'm happy that there's one that's a little bit different. And then now I have these little wooden ornaments. Oh, they just remind me of toys that Santa might bring to you on Christmas morning. Or Christmas Eve. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut the little strings off, and then I'm going to add them underneath this tree. Do have it pretty packed full, but I think I can use up some more of this greenery. So I'm just going to pick pieces and parts. I'm going to fill in any of the dead space that you can see the bottom. I don't want you to be able to see the bottom or see any of that area like that. So I'm just picking some of that greenery apart, finding some of the evergreens, fluffing it a little bit. We're going to stick some hot glue on there and stick it in there. I know that a sifter is not an unusual thing to make over for Christmas, but when the inspiration hits, y'all know we just get into our stash and we start crafting away. So I love this sifter, especially since it has that white wooden piece. And then in one of my hauls, I got these lovelies, and I'm like, I need to get this done. Cinnamon cloves, hello, and they're red. It doesn't matter that they're Kroger's, it doesn't matter who they are, but I just absolutely love them. So I have some little stems that I ordered greenery this year off of Reagan House, which is a wholesale company. So you have to have a tax ID, business license, but I just couldn't find any that I was in love with. So I bit the bullet and finally did it. And it did not disappoint by any means, other than cutting the stems off. I always like to cut my stems off. I know you can bend them, but I just always prefer to cut them off. I didn't say it was an easy task to cut them off, but I do cut them off. So sometimes when you have these sifters, you kind of have to play with them because, they were really not made for decor. We just all want them to be decor now. The rusty crustier the better, right, y'all? So I'm trying to make everything fit in there. I still kind of want you to see the wording. That was my hope, along with having some of the greenery in there. But I had to get like the metal part that sifts it in the inside, like at the right angle that I had space, and then trying to remember that I had to go by my little knob in the front because I wanted you to see that. You think it would just be easy, throw it all together and it'd be all good, but not necessarily. I know I want to add a few more of my vintage pieces in there, but you just kind of have to play, like the colors, the tones, like these graters are too shiny, that tin is like the perfect match. It doesn't have to match, but I'm kind of a matchy-matchy person sometimes. So I ended up taking a vintage, like I think it was a half cup, quarter cup metal. You can see it there. My glue's a little bit on the hot side there, y'all. But I needed a stronger base to hold those spice containers. They just kept falling, so you couldn't see the wording. So that's what is in the inside of there. I don't know why I didn't get that on camera, but who knows. But I'm going to get everything glued in place. And I know people have asked me about my Ryobi hot glue gun before. And y'all, I have learned to control it. Like, I turn it on and off, like, so it's running really hot right now. So I turn it off right now. And then I can tell when I'm starting to glue it that it gets thicker and it doesn't come out as easy. Then I know I need to turn it back on. I've played with it. I don't really ever burn myself. I know you would think that I do, but I don't. If anything, I'm just always trying to get glue off my fingers. And after I shifted my whole arrangement around, because I now noticed that I was on my handle and not the the winder. Oh my gosh. So, some crafts should be easy, but sometimes they get to be difficult. But I'm loving the color tones. I want to add a couple of these vintage little kids rolling pins. Are they not the sweetest little things? And then I spied these cute little gingerbread, though they're made out of wax, at the antique mall where my booths are. And I thought, oh my gosh, those are too cute. I love them. What a perfect combinations to stick in there. And then for me, and as I always say, you just keep playing with it until you love it. I just felt like there's some dead space there. I need a little bit more visual because now I've kind of covered up that same tin that I was wanting to see in the first place. But luckily I had another little tin that has that same hue of metal. So I thought that looks really cute behind the gingerbread. And y'all, for the life of me, I cannot remember what these are. So let me know down in the comments if you remember. But I have like 2 bags that came in 2 different hauls from auctions. And I'm like, I'm going to put those in my stash because you just never know when you're going to need something. And I really, for the life of me, cannot remember what they are or anything right now. But I'm just trying to pick out a few because I think that they would be a nice additive into this little display. And then I decided, I'm still going to put those back in, but I decided to add some cinnamon sticks that I noticed when I went to get those. I had some cinnamon sticks. Oh, I just love the placement of everything, other than I think we need to finish this off with a little bit of ribbon. So now I picked this up at an auction. It just says Xmas. That's it. And then it's just random letters, which are made to look probably like old marquee letters or something, but it's so fakey. So I love all the different textures. I don't know. I mean, I bought it from an artist. 46, that seems like a lot for these. I don't know if they were like handmade. I don't know. They look mass produced to me. I don't know, but I want to keep these for myself and fit them into my own decor. So I need to give them a different type of paint job or patina. I had actually had them sitting off to the side for quite a while trying to figure out what color paint I wanted them. And then I decided I don't want a color paint on them. I'm going to do some rusty crusty on them. They are metal. A lot of the paint that's on there on some of the pieces, like this S, is really chipping off. So I'm going to go ahead and start to paint them with Dixie Belle's patina paint in the iron. Now, I like to do the dabbing technique when it comes to applying the patina personal preference. I think it really gives it that really rustic, rust like build up kind of look. So I don't brush it on. As you see, I'm just doing a dabbing motion. I have a Dollar Tree stencil brush that has been well loved and is flared out and looks like it should be thrown in the trash, but it is perfect to add patinas to items. So as you see, yep, I'm just doing the tapping motion. I started off with my sides and all my little crevices first, and now I'm getting the whole letters covered up. Now while my paint is still wet, I'm going to use the patina, the green patina, and my sprayer just happened to fall on the floor and break. What a great time for your sprayer, and I don't have another one to change it with because my other ones have different patinas in them, so I'll just take it as it is. It's probably getting a lot more on there than I need it to be, but it is what it is, and I don't have anything to change it out with. So it's just going to get a lot on there, but you can tell that it already is starting to change within 15 minutes. Oh, be still my heart. I haven't done a rusty crusty project in a little while. And this is about an hour into it, and I'm just going to have to let it sit. Don't try to like take a paper towel, suck off any of that extra. I just have too much on there, and I'm just going to have to wait overnight for it to completely dry. But look at that yumminess. Oh my goodness. So this is the next morning. Look how beautiful it is. But unfortunately, it was a little bit cold in our shop when I did this, so it's not completely dry yet, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone and let it completely dry. I need to seal my patina in so that it doesn't come off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do one coat, let that dry, do another coat. 2 coats should protect it, and we should be good to go. So I have this little red enamel pot, and I always think red just always reminds me of Christmas, and it's been in my stash longer than I'd probably like to admit to y'all. But there's just something about it, and some of the crafts, DIYs that I've been doing this season that made me feel like I could put something in it and hang it on the wall. Oh, look at this Santa. Now, this Santa is a little bit worse for wear, but doesn't matter. If we can save stuff from the landfill and create little beautiful vignettes with all these little treasures that we pick up along the lines, oh, my heart. And it doesn't all have to be the same era, the pan, the ornament, and even that new candy cane. It all kind of still goes together. Not all displays have to have a million different types of elements. Sometimes it's just the simple things. So the pan is red, it's got the white, the candy cane's got the red, it's got an off-white, Santa is off-white, but he still has a little bit of the red. So it all does kind of go together. I'm going to add a little bit more red to make it pop a little bit more. I don't know where these glass beads originated from, but I have been picking them up, and I love cutting them off their little wire stems to add them into things. So I'm just going to add a few in. I have a few different sizes, just kind of surrounding Santa. And back I go to that tote of greenery. Just because the berries are worn doesn't mean the greenery's not in good shape. So it's got a few different textures of greenery, which I really love. And since it's like a darker green, I think, oh, I really think that that Age of the Darker will go well with this. And then I'm not quite sure which item I took this little Merry Christmas tag off, but I think it would be cute hanging from the top. And then I'll go ahead and add some of this red velvet ribbon. And I think it'll just bring this whole little display together. There's definitely something about oval frames and then metal oval frames. Oh, wow. So this was just a frame I picked up, just a plain old frame that I thought, I bet you I can tie it into the season just by adding some evergreen greenery. I thought maybe I was going to need 3 of the stems, but I think that was going to be just way too much. So I think 2 will be plenty. And then we're just going to cut the stems off. We're going to attempt to hide them in the back so you can hang it. Oh, it is so pretty already, just adding that greenery in there. Okay, there I go hard again, working on getting those stems cut down. Now, these ones I need to really cut as far down as I can that it'll allow me, so I want to kind of fit it in the insert where probably the backing would have gone, so I'm cutting them way down, which is a little bit thicker of a part, but well worth the time spent cutting it off. Structurally, I don't want this greenery coming unattached from the frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this green wire that's from the Dollar Tree store. I'm going to weave it in so I have the middle, like the middle strong stem of each one of these stems, and making sure that I wrap it and tie it and intertwine it. And then I'm also going to wrap it around the frame. I'm going to cover that up, so I'm not going to worry about if you see it. Structurally, I just want to make sure that the greenery is going to stay in place. Even though I feel like my wires are going to hold it, I'm still going to hot glue it like where the top of the stems were that I did the wires, and then random places where the greenery is touching the frame. That would be a good bonding point. So really it should be nice and secure. No, I'm not just leaving it plain. Don't y'all worry. I have some of the cutest items I'm going to be putting on this. Now, I got these baby shoes in a haul, and they're flat, but they're still baby shoes, and they're cute, and they have an aged patina, and like if I stuff them, you're going to just see the stuffing, and the stuffing's going to look new, and I'm like, so I've just been hoarding on them. And then I ran across little gloves. Oh my gosh, little white, well, aged cream gloves. And then I have a little Bible. Oh, y'all, how adorable is this? And this is a perfect way to get to use these shoes. They're not going to puff out. They're not going to be too large. The gloves can cover them up a little bit. The Bible covers them up also, but you can still see them. So we're just going to start getting everything hot glued on. And now I want some type of a ribbon. Now I ordered this velvet ribbon thinking it was going to be more of a beigey tan, and it's kind of a purplish color. And then I have 2 different types of lace to make just a flowy, soft ribbon. I'm a little disappointed. It's hard because beiges and tans are kind of like that. You just never know what the dye lot is going to be. But I knew that I really wanted that type of ribbon trundling down on this piece. After I got my ribbons on, I'm like, I wasn't loving the ribbons, but I knew that was the vision that I had. I think the problem is they were too clean. the the 3 pieces I added on were aged patina, but the ribbons themselves were not. So I could soak it in the instant coffee, but I didn't want it to be all one color. So I decided, you know what? I can just take instant coffee, a little bit of water, a fan brush, and I can just brush it on. And look at how quickly it's giving that patina that this new lace needed to blend in with the pieces on here. Okay, so what do you think of this hot mess? Yep, this is the way I bought it. I sell pairs of stirrups or single stirrups on their own, but I never had any that were still attached to the leather. So I have one good pair that could just be decor on their own, and then I have this pair. And you can see one of it's broken, but I'm not trashing it. I'm not throwing it away. I think we can make something beautiful out of it. Though now that I've got them all separated, I realize there's another extra piece of leather in here that I didn't know. I didn't know. But now that we got them all separated, if these stirrups could talk and tell a story, I think we can save these and make them into beautiful home decor. It does not matter that one is broken. So I think adding these onto some long stems of greenery will, one, start to help to hide the brokenness. But I love that pop of greenery with this age of wood. Is just beautiful. I have no powers of bending wood. I don't have a steamer. I don't have any contraptions like that. But I do know that I need 3 pieces because I want them the way that I'd like them to hang down. I want it to be a little bit longer. So the same concept here as what I did on the frame. I'm going to wire these together, still using that same type of wire, just twisting and making sure that everything is nice and tight. So again, I don't want it to come apart. And then I'll just start wiring the 3 of these together. Now I have them all wired together, but I don't want you to see the wire. And then I want to push my stems together even more. So I'm just taking some brown floral tape and I'm going to wrap that up far enough that I think that'll be okay with what's left at the top. And now I'm going to take my bolt cutters because I am not messing around this time. And cutting those wires off. Yeah, if you want something that's going to cut through those wires, get yourself a pair of heavy bolt cutters. Okay, so now we have our swag going on here. Our stems are all together. Now I know that I'm going to be cutting into this leather, but I really want to make wise decisions on my cuts because I can't get it back together. So I'm just trying to see what length that's going to go to the top, what the visual, how I want it to hang, where should I make my cuts. And then I want that broken part kind of just go like towards the inner, but I want that one to be at the higher. I don't want that to be what's hanging down below where your eye is going to be drawn to that right at first. So it's a hard decision because I'm like, I know I'm going to have to cut it, but I want to make a wise choice. Some decisions you make are just like, oh, okay, I'm saying a prayer that I left enough. I didn't take too much off. I can always take more off. I just can't put it back on. So I want to do the same thing with the leather as I did with the stems, and then wrap that with wire and then wrap that with the tape to securely hold it in place. So now I still need one more element to take away from that brokenness. Last year I did the rusty crusty balls, just kind of similar to what I did on the Xmas letters. And I really think like now, look where your eye is drawn to. Your eye is drawn to that beautiful rusty crusty of those bells. Oh my goodness. So, and then to hang the bells, I have enough of the leftover leather that I can string the bells up with there. Though I don't need all 4 bells. I thought I was going to need them. I only really need 3. So some of the knots were easy to open and remove. Some I had to kind of use my pick, like my picking tool that you'd use for your Cricut to get your reading tool. Anyway, but yes, yeah, so I got those all open. Now tying them, because this is a aged leather, it's not really like tightening up the way that it should be, but I'm going to get them to the length that I need them to be. Get them tied on, and then I will go ahead and take them into my house and then re-wet the leather down, which then should be almost like an adhesive and thicken back up, or stiffen back up. There's the word, stiffen back up the leather so that it doesn't come unraveled. Let that leather dry overnight so it's good and dry. I'm just going to cut it to length. I'm going to attach it the same way I did all the others with just the floral tape. Should hold that leather on just fine, nice and tight. But I do need to add some type of a hanging system, so I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to use some 17 gauge wire, and I'm just going to twist like a hook on there, because I should have pre-thought about adding the wire to it earlier, but you know, sometimes things are an afterthought. So just a little twist going on, like a candy cane hook, to give it something that you can attach it to the wall. I mean, you can probably use a lot of the greenery or just set it, or, you know, something else, but I just wanted something to be able to hang it. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know the sifter, yeah, that's a no-brainer, that kind of is. But the rest of the items, that cigar box, an enamelware pan, I just loved tipping that onto its side. That was awesome. And all that vintage that I could put in there. You can mix the old with the new. It is just fabulous. And then we just, you know, I've got some little swags, and I could not throw those stirrups out. I don't care that they were broken. I hope somebody appreciates them as much as I do, because putting those balls and the bells, putting the bells with them kind of like draws your eye. And oh my goodness, I just had so much fun creating those, along with the little child shoes and the Bible and the little and I just, you know, that it was just too clean. The lace and the velvet was just too clean, so let's just dirty it up. So I hope I have spiked your interest. I hope I have inspired you in any way. Give me a quick comment down below if I have, that you look at secondhand finds in a new way. And I sure hope that you enjoyed today's video. So thanks again for watching. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you are new and you're checking out the channel for the first time and you liked what you saw and you stayed to the end of the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, and then also subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!